Namaste and welcome to the 11th session of spiritual aspects of Agnihotra. We have been discussing the set of the mantras called Ishwar Stuti Pratnopasana. We have covered the first six of them, and today we should be looking at the seventh mantra. A quick review will be quite desirable. The first mantra, of course, was because I like this sequence that is so wonderful. The first one was Vishwani Dev, that we are always interested in getting away from pain and suffering and always wanting to embrace what is positive for us. And who can do it better than that Savita Dev, who has made this world as well as brought us into this world. Now, what are his characteristics? Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagya. Even before he sent us into this world, he made the sun, the earth, so that they are very much livable for us. And then he sends us in a very peculiar form, Ya Atmada Balada. I am enveloped with my mind. And furthermore, as I enter into my mother's body, there are layers of the layers after layers of the body domain. And then one day I become an independent human being. Yasya chaya amrita. If I care to live in his shadow, I will be safely away from anything that is painful and will have a taste of that nectar of bliss, Amrit. And not only he gives me the body and mind domains, he never forgets me. That is the spirit of Ya Pranato Nimishato. All the necessary life forces, the pranic forces, are always functioning non-stop. So that as and when I wish to use my body and mind, they are available to me. And then where does this pranic force? He could have made it work non-stop just by itself. But this is his design, that I must supply food to the body. And that's where the fifth mantra, Yen Dev Yoga, becomes relevant. Anno Vahipana. I must supply food to the body, and that food is a collection cluster of energy that actually came from Dev Yoga, the sun, the fireball. And that heat energy has been absorbed by the food grain, fruits, vegetables, all sorts of species that grow grow from the earth, and that is never ending. It is always there, one crop after another crop. So that continuity is there, and that's what gives me nourishment, so that my pranic forces are working. This much is applicable to all the living beings, humans, animals, birds, insects, reptiles, fishes. All of them benefit from all this that we have discussed by now. The domains of body and mind, some sort of food and nourishment, and that is coming from the sun. Now at the sixth mantra, we saw that This is specifically for human beings who can lead a life in a very dynamic manner. And that happens because of our intellectual faculty of buddhi, discriminatory ability, that I can distinguish right and wrong. And that helps me explore the hidden world, invisible world behind the visible world. So, as a scientist or philosopher would do it, explore the forces that govern the visible world and thereby learn something new and bring some dynamism in life, harbor all kinds of desires to improve the quality of life. That's what we discussed last week. We noticed that we build houses, they are different from the way we built them 200 years ago. But a bird continues to make its nest exactly the same manner that its ancestors did many centuries ago. So that is where the dynamism of human life comes in. So the sixth mantra was Yat Kamaste Juhumastanno Vayam Syam Patayo Raina, and develop all kinds of new systems and gadgets to improve our quality of life. And today we want to discuss the seventh mantra. Let's move to I want to show you, it's two versions, one in the Sanskar Vidhi and other one is Maharishi Dayanand's Ved Bhashya. This particular mantra comes from Yajurveda, 32nd chapter, and is 10th mantra. Here this is from Sanskar Vidhi, where Maharishi Dayanand gives a word meaning. So let's read out the mantra. Om Sano Bandhur-Janita Savidhata Dhamani Veda Bhuvanani Vishwa Yatra Deva Amritama Anashanastitiye Dhamanna Dhyayanta. अर्थ, हे मनुष्यों, सह वह परमात्मा न अपने लोगों का बंधु भ्राता के समान सुखदायक, जनिता सकल जगत का उत्पादक, सह वह विधाता सब कामों का पूर्ण करने हारा, विश्वा संपूर्ण भुवनानि लोकमात्र और धामानि नाम स्थान जन्मों को वेद जानता है, और यत्र जिस तृतीय सांसारिक सुख दुख से रहित नित्यानंद युक्त धामन मोक्ष स्वरूप धारण करने हारे परमात्मा में अमृतम मोक्ष को आनशानः प्राप्त होके देवा विद्वान लोग अध्ययत स्वेच्छापूर्वक विचारते हैं। वही परमात्मा अपना गुरु, आचार्य, राजा और न्यायाधीश है। अपने लोग मिलकर सदा उसकी भक्ति, किया कहें. So this was the word meaning from Maharishi Dayanand's Sanskar Vidhi. Let's read the same word meaning again. And the second paragraph of Bhavat from his Yajurved commentary. Here it goes now. Hey Manushya, Yatra Jisa, तृतीय जीव प्रकृति से विलक्षण धामन आधार रूप जगदीश्वर में अमृतम मोक्ष सुख को आनशाना प्राप्त होते हुए देवाः विद्वान लोग अध्ययनत सर्वत्र अपनी इच्छा पूर्वक विचरते हैं जो विश्वा सब भुवनानि लोक लोकांतरों और धामानी जन्म स्थान नामों को जानता है वह परमात्मा स न हमारा बंधु भाई के तुल्य मान्य सहायक जनिता उत्पन्न करने हारा सह वही विधाता सब पदार्थों और कर्म फलों का विधान करने वाला है यह निश्चय करो. भावार्थ. हे मनुष्यों, जिस शुद्ध स्वरूप परमात्मा में योगी राज विद्वान लोग मुक्ति सुख को प्राप्त हो आनंद करते हैं उसी को सर्वज्ञ सर्वोत्पादक और सर्वदा सहायकार मानना चाहिए अन्य को नहीं. So let's go through this in our own way, and we have noticed Maharishi Dayanand's interpretation of the mantra at two occasions. We will read it out word by word again, and I will make some comments as we proceed. Sa is of course the pronoun for he, and as we have seen on many occasions, like in Sapayaga Chukra Makayam, 40th chapter Yajurveda. Sa, as default in the Vedas, mean, though it is a pronoun generally should be following a noun, but that is the Vedic terminology. Whether it is there or not, in this particular case, there are many other attributes coming, such as Bandhur-Janita, Vidhata, and so on and so forth. So this Sa can correlate with them. But even otherwise, independently, Sa would mean that supreme consciousness, whom we call as Ishwar. No, na is ours, asmakam, in plural it is. So generally the statements refer to we human beings in an assembly, in a group. So we are being told as if an assembly of human beings are being told that he, that supreme consciousness, is our Bandhu. Bandhu is a word which will, even in English, it will give us an inkling about the word bondage, to whom we are bonded with. So here it is that I am always bonded with him. And that we have seen in Yah Pranato Nimishato. Because he is only the non-stop life force behind my body and mind domains. So within this system, he is residing and ensuring that all my essential forces are working non-stop. So naturally, he is with me all the moment. So very true, he is bonded with me And here the analogy is given like a brother. So, and two brothers, siblings, they are always interested in each other's benefit and sometimes go out of their way to help his younger brother or even older brother. So that is what has been told us, that he is always with me as a due to that inherent bonding, and he is most interested in my well-being as a brother would be interested in. Janita, he is the giver of the birth to the entire universe, and that is what Maharishi Dayananda has mentioned. Sakal Jagat ka Utpadak. Again followed by the same pronoun sa, and then he is being told is Vidhata. He is the governor, so to say. He governs. There are two kinds of world coexisting. The material world, whereby all the material things are governed by the laws of physics that our scientists have discovered. And also there are things like we conscious beings. Of course, our body and mind are made of matter, but we, that self, one who owns my body and mind, that is ultimate seat of my consciousness, me. I am also governed by that same supreme being. So I am governed by the law of karma. That is what determined when and where, in what community, in what family I will be born. So we, the living species, animals, birds included, we are governed by the law of karma, whereas all the other material things are governed by the laws of physics. So that was about Vidhata. And indeed, there are two kinds of world, that is Dhamani and Bhuvnani. Bhuvnani is all kinds of planets and even the empty space, the space between all in between the planets, Bhuvnani. And Dhamani is where the life can be supported. So as we know, they are in particular our own solar system. We have many other planets, Mars, etc., where the life may not be existing. We are not aware of as of now. But this wonderful planet, namely the Earth, has the life, can support us, and this is in the Dhamani. Dhamani he has translated as Nam Sthan Janmoko, where we can take birth and then we can give the specific names to all the things. Whereas Bhuvnani is merely the planets that probably balance the Earth in the solar system. Otherwise, the Earth may not be having this particular well-defined trajectory. So there are all other planets, so that all planets together function as a very stable dynamic system. Otherwise, some sort of instability could have arisen. So, as much as we know, Bhunani and Dhamani complement each other. And Vishwa is that is so in the entire universe, not only our solar system, but all the other things. We have some ideas about other things in the galaxies, but we don't know all the truths about all the galaxies, stars, and so on and so forth. But it is reasonable to speculate that in our galaxy or in other galaxies, there would be certain stars that is like our sun, and certain solar system that may have Earth-like planets. So this is a infinitely large space we are talking about that is very difficult for us to comprehend. So that was the first line. Is it? It's almost like, I like the analogy. Maybe it is helpful for you to place we the human beings in the world. What is our relationship with that Bandhu and Janita, Vidhata, etc.? Is it just imaginary, or it is something in real life? That's what these mantras are supposed to guide us and tell us. So the analogy I like is we, the adults, and some of us are grown up, we have our children in universities and colleges, or we have had such a situation when we asked our child, it's time after the schooling to go to a college or university. And very often there is a situation that they go away from the parents and live slightly independently in a university dormitory and that kind of situation. So I like to encourage you to think in this term. Look at as if we, the human beings, are in this world, and this is like we have been sent by that Supreme Being for a limited time. Okay, now you are independent human being, as if you send your child to a college or university. I am sending you to the world, isn't it? We send our child to the university maybe 4 years, 5 years, slightly extended period. But he is sending us into this world, again an educational university kind of a thing. His university, this is, where we are supposed to go through a process of learning right from the birth until our last breath. So look at this world as a university for us, and we are accustomed to the scenario that we have sent our children to a university for a limited period. And then we had a relationship with our children. We assured them that all their basic needs will be met. We will pay for their tuition. We will take care of their living expenses and other needs, the books and even a mobile phone, internet links and computers, everything. And then we express our expectation. Expectation is twofold. One is we do tell them we want their university time, 4 years, a very valuable time for their own development. Physical, we want them to take care of their body and maintain good health, and also knowledge, intellectual development. That is the primary focus in the university. So along with their own development, that's what the student life is all about. what we call as Brahmacharya ashram, focused for self-development. We are assuring them that we are there and stay connected with us. Of course, you will be busy with your studies, with your friends and all, but do call us once in a while in the weekends or weekday evenings. So we want them to be staying connected with the parents, even though we know their primary purpose is their self-development through the education process. Now this is level 1 between me and my child in university. Let's go to the level 2, that Supreme Being and me in this university of the world. And now, as if in this mantra, he is telling us that stay connected with me because I am your closest. There is nobody more interested in your growth and development than he is. That is what he is telling us through the words Bandhur-Janita, Vidhata, and so on and so forth. But now there is one very profound meaning in this second part of this mantra, where the word Deva is coming. And we are being told that there is a third kind of happiness, Titiya. I would like you to link it up with the previous mantra, Prajapate Natvadeta. I was very much emphasizing that was relevant to human beings and not to other species. And now to me it looks like this seventh mantra is telling us for general common human beings, some of them who can rise above and become Devta. So the human beings are typically Manushya. And we know it due to the freedom of thought and freedom of action. An average human being, Manushya, can go through a downslide also, become a Rakshas, and just can remain there, just lead a materialistic life, a good human being, just remaining as a usual, common, nice human being, decent person. That is a Manushya. But then, the seventh mantra is telling us, if I rise above in the positive direction, become a Devta. So, in any species of animals, a dog, a cat, a cow, a lion or tiger, a lion is a good lion. Every lion is a good lion. There is nothing like good lions and bad lions. They are all lions as supposed to be. Of course, for us, from our point of view, we will say some cow is good cow, probably it gives more milk, and some cow is bad cow, not giving enough milk, less quantity. But insofar as the community of cows is concerned, that species, all cows are equally good. There is nothing like bad or good, because they are just what they are. But we human beings have to become a human being. That's why we are told Manu Bhava. Bhava is to become. For them it is being is enough. All other species, they merely have to be what they are. They are by birth. A cow, a cat, or dog, a lion, tiger. They just have to merely remain what they are. But in our case, we have to become something very consciously. If I am not even aware of this fact, then gradually I may devolve and lose certain good human qualities which they are in the childhood, but as I grow, I may pick up some wrong things in my life. Then it is downslide. But if I am slightly careful, I don't harm others for my petty gains, then I remain Manushya. But if I think more, the whole dynamics of the law of karma and go beyond it in terms of Nishkam karma, I am not just working for the rewards of my karma. I dedicate all my actions to that Supreme Being. Because He expects me to become good, I am good. Not that I am good because I will get a good reward. So I surrender all the rewards of my action to Him. What Patanjali calls Ishwar Pranidhan. Then I am a higher order karma. Because law of karma is very complex. I just don't bother about rewards. I have a firm belief. I trust that is all in His purview. Let me not worry about rewards of my actions. Na karma lipyate naye. Kovanne ve karmani jiju. I merely go on performing the karma actions that He expects from me, so as to become His agent in this world without bothering about when I will get the rewards of what karma, etc. etc. So this becomes my inner force that I am always doing good in His image. I am His ambassador. I am His agent in this world, and I don't want to let Him down. Then I am in this category. I hope you understand as I see it. The sixth mantra was for general human beings. Told that, yes, even in the material world, you can improve your quality of life. But in so doing, if you adopt unfair means, then you are going downslide of the human values. And then seventh mantra is of course not applicable to you. So seventh mantra is applicable to higher quality people. Amit manashana stitiye dhaman dhyayayanta. So titiye is a सांसारिक सुख दुख से रहित नित्यानंद युक्त. So there is a third kind of joy and happiness. So that is what he is telling us. Anasana prapt hoke, we can taste that. The third kind of pleasure, we can taste it. Who will do that? Devaha is translated as Vidwan log. Vidwanso hi deva. But this Vidwan is not bookish knowledge. One who has realized that knowledge very well, you know, what we are discussing. Just knowing it is not, just you are aware of it. But if it is not part and parcel of your personality, then it doesn't have a meaning. Adhyayanta स्वेच्छापूर्वक विचरते हैं. वही परमात्मा अपना गुरु means I am getting educated by him. He is my teacher. He is the authority above me, and I submit to him as his subject. And he is the one dispensing justice by way of law of karma. So all that very well fits into what we are talking about. The seventh mantra is for a higher order people who are above the average people and who can be classified as deva, who do karma of higher order without expecting any reward, kind of nishkam karma, and then they get the titiya anashana. Anshana is like taste, enjoying the fruit. We have some words in Hindi also. For example, the word nashta. Nashta is na ashta. We are eating some snacks. We are not eating the full meal. So na is negation of the full meal. Negation of what? Ashta. So that anashana is also in that word. So that is enjoying the fruits of my rewards. But here it is saying the third kind. That is very interesting. If you look at our day-to-day life, the first kind of joy, pleasures, which is very visible kind. Even a child is very much likes to enjoy it, where our body and mind are both engaged with certain objects of pleasure. Say food. Food comes very first in our mind. If it is something good for my taste, I find it is subjective, of course, and I eat it. I enjoy it taste. So in so doing, my body is there, and of course, the taste, my taste buds knocks at the door of the mind, and mind transmits it further inward, and then I am the owner of my body and mind. I get that taste of it. The last unit being buddhi, where it is displayed. So buddhi is like my screen, not just like this TV screen which has audio and video. There it is five-dimensional screen. That sight, sound, taste, smell and touch. All that somehow pop out. And I, the Purush, the self, the me, what Vyas calls in the commentary of the Yoga philosophy, Buddhi Pati Samvedi. So whatever happens in Buddhi is automatically, its image is false on me. That is what this bonding is between me and my mind, so to say. That is what is called bondage. Until I am liberated, I am hooked to my mind and then on to my body. So now this taste which has popped out of my buddhis, imagine it like a skin. I get it, it becomes my bhog. One is I get aware of it, that is the knowledge thing. And if I fancy, if all this happened because I had a craving for the food, that is called raga, then this carried forward from buddhi, it is automated as me being buddhi pati samvedi. I will always get to know what is happening at buddhi. That is automated. So I am trying to distinguish between the rag and vairagya. You know, both persons are eating same food. Now the person who is enjoying the food, enjoying the taste of the food, because he was driven by his rag, particularly the craving for that particular food dish. So naturally, he had that temptation. He was looking forward to that particular food and its taste. So he eats it, he gets to know the taste. That is his knowledge part, knowing part, which is always there for all sorts of people. Now, for this particular person who was driven by rag, this is not merely the jnana, the knowledge part. Now, this is experience, the bhog part. So, this buddhi vritti is not just jnana vritti for him, this is bhog vritti for him. So, this is not because it was not nishkam karma. He very much desired it. So, yat kamaste. So, sixth mantra very much encourages us, dharma, arth, kam, to enjoy them. But this seventh mantra is implicitly, when it talks about the third kind of pleasure, it is trying to go beyond this. It's not telling us not to enjoy the food, enjoy it, but go beyond it. So, bhog is very much relevant, but not always. So, when I was driven by the rag, it became buddhivitti, but that buddhivitti, because of the relationship between purush and buddhi, automatically that thing goes up into me. So, like I am watching TV. So, TV news, the announcer, the speaker said something, and I get to know it. But sometimes in television, I am watching a movie, a film, something, I get to know what is happening. But sometimes I participate in that fiction. It is a fictional movie, but I become so much part of it, is that due to certain events, not only I know it, it affects me as if I am part of it. Sometimes I have tears also. So, what I'm trying to say, when you watch a TV, sometimes you are detached from it, that you just get to know what is happening on the TV. But sometimes you get so much attached to it that it affects you as if you are going through that event in real life, though it is not happening to you. But you have chosen to become part of that event in the film, is it not? So I hope you understand it. The buddhi is similar to your TV screen. Now you have a choice. You can get to know what buddhi is displaying, because that is very important. That's how we are learning the Ved mantras, is it not? If we were not picking up what buddhi was telling us, then we will not get to know the knowledge, is it not? Vedic knowledge or philosophy of yoga and sankhya and all that. So buddhi must automatically be picked up by the purush, and that is a built-in mechanism that is bound to happen, and that we should be very thankful. That is how we acquire knowledge. But the next stage, the buddhi becoming bhog is my choice. Like I may watch a TV, but not get and become so much a part of it. I can watch from a distance and remain detached from it, is it not? That detachment is very important. And when I remain detached from it, though it was a tasty food, but then it did not leave an impression in my mind in terms of craving. If you enjoy the food so much, then you look forward to it again. Maybe I'll get it tomorrow also. But if you are detached from it, You got to know the taste of it. That was nice, but it did not leave any impression on you. That impression is vasana, and when it becomes active, it becomes like a craving, it is rag. So there is a whole cycle of all this. This is not the opportunity where I go into detail of all this mechanism, but I am trying to get to know the meaning of the TTA. So this was first kind of pleasure where body, mind and self are fully involved. Here also I have a choice. I could have just eaten the food without letting it leave the impression in me as vasana, or I became a part of it. It depends on the maturity of a human being. And that's the maturity we are being expected to develop when the third kind of pleasure is being asked. So now let's look at the second kind of pleasure. So first kind of pleasure, which of course has its downside also, sukh and dukh. So there is an occasion that I go through sukh, and there are occasions where I go through dukh. That's life. Now the second kind is where body is not that much involved. I am just going through the past events of my mind. You know, you can recall a past event. Sometimes an event, you think about it, you feel good. And sometimes there is an event which is a past event stored in your memory, and your buddhi is fetching it, displaying it again. It's kind of a replay on your TV, like we replay some programs we have missed or we want to play. We like it so much, we play it again. So, that's what our mind is, very complex system, very much more complex than a television set. Instead of 2 dimensions, 5 dimensions. And the memory, the what we have typically a VCR, that has a very complex system. So all my past experiences are involved, stored, past knowledge is stored, past practices, actions are stored. All this past experience is called vasana, past knowledge is called as smriti, past practice is called action-based practice is called sanskar, but the whole family as a whole is also called sanskar. So, terminology gets slightly complex sometimes. Like Pran has 5 members, Pran, Apan, Vyan, Saman, Udan. But Pran may refer to the whole family also. So sanskar is also a similar word. Sometimes it may refer to only action-based impressions, like you learn the driving skill very carefully when you are going to the driving school. But then all those have made the impressions that 10 years later you are an expert driver. You are driving because it's stored in your memory. It just comes out, is it not? So multiple practices leave a sanskar there. So I was saying the second kind of pleasure where the body is not involved, but mind is involved. You recall a past event, a pleasant event, then you feel good. It leaves, kind of gives you peaceful. So we have a word like shanti and ashanti, peace of mind or disturbed mind. So body is not much involved at that point. So this is also second kind of happiness, that we can think and feel good. Now the third kind is where neither the body is involved nor mind is involved. And there the word is, as we have seen, Ananda. So, Sukh Dukh is a duality. Shanti Ashanti is a duality, positive as well as negative. But in the third dimension, Anand is a very peculiar word that it doesn't have its negative counterpart. It is just Anand. So it is something you feel it. We cannot describe it. And a very distant feeling is there in deep sleep, deep dreamless sleep, Shushupti. So that's why I many times quote this Sankhya statement, Shushupti Samadhi Moksheshu Brahmayupta. So they are in the same category, Shushupti, Samadhi and Moksha. That I am as if in his lap. And he is Satchidananda Swarup. So I get a taste of Ananda. In Sushupti, I don't get real-time feeling. Only when I come out of it, I say that was good. That's why I called it as a distant taste of it. But Samadhi or Upasana, what we call, where I can get a real-time taste of that. And of course, the hint is to bring your mind calm and disconnection from my mind. So the third, so this seventh mantra is encouraging us. Like again, coming back to the student in the university, he can enjoy his 4 years, disconnect from his parents, because parents, as their duty, will give him a credit card, will replenish his account, bank account money. We don't want, as parents, him to face any hardship so that he can study well. Even if he is not, doesn't bother about us, even if he is disconnected from us. But of course, we would like him to be connected to us. Occasional phone calls, occasional visits back to home. Because as parents, we are certainly going to make positive inputs to his life. But it is his choice. The same is applying to us. Now, my child and me, now it is me and that Ishwar. I am the student in this university of the world. And when I am in this world, am I enjoying the world so much? My spouse, my children, my friends, my other siblings and all that. And this wonderful, beautiful material world, that I just don't care about him. I have no awareness. I'm so busy 24 hours. I just don't have a moment for him. That is also a choice. But the seventh mantra is applicable for a superior human being who by choice remains connected to him. That's what is Devaha. And you just don't connect to him if you are a Rakshas. Because then your mind is crooked mind. You have even foregone Yam and Niyam of Patanjali's prescription. It won't be easy for you to go to that state of Samadhi. So you have to live an ethical, moral code of conduct. And not only that, Nishkam Karma. And not only that, that will encourage you to lead with a detachment, with Vairagya. So there is just Jnana Vritti but not Bhog Vritti. And then even to diminish that Jnana Vritti, and when those Jnana Vrittis is very at a lower level, that is called Chitta Vritti. I am not quite applying my intellect towards a discriminatory ability, but I notice something is happening there. So chit is a very general term for that instrument of buddhi, which is at its very base level. It is bringing something from its memory, fetching it and displaying it. Though I am not quite interested in any intellectual decision making. And deep in meditation, that's what becomes challenging. How to stop this function of chitta? Buddhivritti is relatively easy. So that we say from thoughtfulness to thoughtlessness. But when we are away from thoughts, some image comes on my chitta. And even that I want to get away from it. So that chittavritti, in modern nomenclature, I will call it mindfulness. Chit is filled of something is there. And I want to make it blank chitta. So I will say now the second level of journey is, first level of journey is from thoughtfulness to thoughtlessness. Second level of challenge for a meditation practitioner is chittavritti niyodha. I will call it as mindfulness to mindlessness. So when your chit is absolutely blank, still, calm, then you disengage from it, disconnect from it. And then you are connected with that. It's a very cumbersome, very complex process. But that should not discourage anybody not to venture into this enterprise. This is very important. This is actually the core and crux of the human life. This is how we are different from animals and birds. We have to live to that so that I say, yes, I love him. He is my bandhu. I reciprocate that love to him. I want to be with him. Is it not? So that desire, as it builds up, comes the success also comes there. I will say just like we desire to have very good sleep, deep, dreamless sleep, called sushupti. We go to bed with all the necessary things done, carefree from the world, and we want to go into sleep, hoping for the best quality of sleep. But that end of the night, we wake up in the morning, then we evaluate our sleep. It wasn't necessarily deep, dreamless sleep. Maybe I had some dreams, even nightmares, whatever it. So sleep was not the way I had desired. The ideal sleep, I did not receive it. But it doesn't tell me, I don't decide, no, I will stop going to sleep. Is it not? I still try to evaluate the situation, why my mind is so anxiety, what are the things bothering, what are the stress, why my sleep is not improving, is it not? I will try to improve upon my sleep and never take a decision, forget about sleep because I don't get ideal sleep. In the same way, meditation practice, ideally I should want to go to mindlessness and then connection with him and then taste that third kind of pleasure. Manashana sthiti. But even if it is not happening, let me continue with the practice of meditation, and that practice will improve gradually, that one day I will have a glimpse of that. And then that time window will expand, maybe for a few seconds, for a minute or so. That is where you will get the progress. So this month, as I see it, it is for a human being who is living in the world, but he is in the higher level. He is not just at Vijnanmaya course. In the Panch course description, if I were to say, Annamaya course, all these material things human beings have made. Pranamaya course, plants and trees, where also the cyclic forces are working. And of course, we animals, birds. Manomaya kosh, all the living species are there. Animals, birds, we are also included in that. Now, human beings have the fourth layer in the pyramid, Vijnanmaya kosh, our intellectual discriminatory ability. That is for the sixth mantra that we came to the fourth layer of the pyramid, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, and Vijnanmaya. Today we have discussed the seventh mantra, which is the apex of the pyramid, that is Anandamaya Kosh. So we are being told that as a human being, Vijnanmaya Kosh is not my limit. I can rise above and live in Anandamaya Kosh. And if I do that, I consciously make this progress that I can find some moments in Anandamaya Kosh, then I will be eligible for moksha, and that is described in the next mantra, Agnenaya Supathaya. We will discuss it next week. Thank you for your attention.